Get ready for a movie about tornado wranglers.
I left my boots out by the door, like I always do. Same stack of magazines by the kitchen sink. It's nothing new.
Hello, my fellow YouTubers and subscribers, and welcome to my latest movie review, where today I review Twisters. Not to be confused with Twisters. This is kind of a sequel, kind of a reboot. I don't know. I'm going to call it a sequel because the movie can't seem to identify how it follows the original. But it's the second movie in the Twister franchise, which is about the tornadoes. I haven't actually seen the original, so I can't confirm whether this is a sequel or not. But let's call it a sequel. So Twisters, directed by Lee Isaac Chung, starring Daisy Edgar-Jones, Glen Powell, and Anthony Ramos. Kate Carter, a retired tornado chaser and meteorologist, is persuaded to return to Oklahoma to work with a new team and new technologies. Twisters. Now, this movie came out quite a while ago. I'm a bit late to the party with my review, but I didn't get to see the movie until recently. And as I've said, I haven't seen the original Twister, so I don't know how good it is. I hear it's all right, to be honest. That's kind of how I feel about this movie, is that, yeah, it's all right. It's a fun time. I don't know what I was expecting going into Twisters. I sort of just expected a fun time, and that was kind of what I got. This movie has a, surprising amount of heart. I mean, it is predictable in a lot of areas. There's not much of a story when you boil it down to it. I didn't go into this movie wanting a deep, complex narrative. I just wanted to be entertained with spectacle of people being, sucked up by tornadoes and a town having to save itself from tornadoes, and that's what I got. It was a fun time. It's a bit like Transformers. You don't go for the story, you go to see robots hit each other. It's one of those rare occasions where I don't sort of need more than what the movie is offering. But at the same time, the movie did try to give me a little bit more than what I was expecting, which I was quite surprised about. Certainly with the character development, the characters aren't anything to write home about, but I appreciated our protagonist, Kate. She was a little bit more developed than I expected her to be. I like how she's a bit more emotionally depressed in the movie, and she can't go near tornadoes again, given the tragedy of what happens to her in the opening scene of the movie. And as we follow her through the story, she faces her fears once again, and she has to obviously get over the tragedy of what happened to her, and she finds comfort in that, and she finds her passion again to do what she loved, which was to go hunting for tornadoes. And I liked her interactions with Glen Powell, who plays Tyler, who is the tornado wrangler, who at first is this kind of cocky, arrogant cowboy arsehole who's also studied tornadoes, and he has this social media site where he posts videos about discovering tornadoes. So he's viral, he's very famous, he's very, very much ado, and at first they are competing with each other to find the tornadoes, and in the end they do sort of join forces for various reasons. And Anthony Ramos as Javi, I believe, or Javier, however you want to pronounce that. He's good. He's got a supporting role in the film. I actually expected him to be in it a bit more than he was. He wasn't actually in it very much, but he's quite a good actor. He's always reliable. He's always good with the parts he's given, and I feel that very much here. And his friendship with Kate, played by Daisy Edgar-Jones, is very well done in the film, and I think that they have some really good scenes together. The movie's surprisingly emotive. It's not like a masterpiece or anything. It's not going to make you cry, but you will appreciate the fact that it does take its time to give the characters a little bit of development, to give the illusion that this is more than just a movie about tornadoes. The rest of the cast are all fine. I'm not going to go through all of them, but they are all good with what they have to do. But those three are the main players who I've mentioned, and they do a serviceable job. Obviously, the movie is a big blockbuster spectacle, and you get that. It is great fun to watch those sequences where the tornadoes come and attack people. Like I said, it is what you expect. There really isn't much to say about it. You will go in expecting what you're going to get. What I didn't really expect, though, was how cheesy this movie was. It got to a stage where I thought this film has been made in the wrong era. This is a film that would have fit perfectly in the 80s or 90s, but it's almost been made 20 years too late, because the tone of this film is so cheesy. It's kind of goofy. Some of the humor is very corny, and some of the soundtrack choices are quite cheesy. So if you want to go in looking for a cheesy, fun popcorn movie, you are going to get that. It's fun in that regard, and the movie kept me on my toes because of that. I will be honest, I didn't expect it to be that cheesy, and the movie looked as though in the beginning it was going to take itself more seriously, and then it suddenly went for a little bit more of a cheesy tone. So in some ways, it's good that the movie was a bit more lighthearted because the first beginning was so serious. You could argue that there is an element of tonal whiplash as the film goes on, because then there are moments when it does try to be serious again, but I actually think it's quite well balanced, to be fair, and it works for what this movie is. I don't think you really need to overanalyze it, because it is what it is, as I've said. The pacing does get a little draggy in places. It does slow down a bit in the second act. Certainly once Kate and Tyler start teaming up, the film kind of loses a bit of momentum until we get to the third act. But yeah, some of those action scenes are pretty spectacular, and I think you'll be very entertained by them. And like I said, if you're looking for a fun time, this is definitely that movie. It's not a film I would probably watch again. It's not going to change cinema, but I had fun, and I think that sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to just switch off and have fun, and I think that's what this movie offers. And I think the setting is also great. The country roads and cornfields in America all prove to be a really, really engaging to watch. I think Lee Isaac Chung's direction is also pretty good. Yeah, pretty fine. Works very well for what it is. So I think overall, I'm going to give this film a 7 out of 10.
I left my boots out by the door, like I always do. Same stack of magazines by the kitchen sink. It's nothing new. Same view.
Yeah, it's a decent enough movie, and I think everybody's going to have fun with it. If you didn't like the first one, this probably isn't going to be your bag. I haven't even seen the first one, so I might go back and watch the first one to compare. But on the whole, I think I'm quite impressed with this film. So, Twisters, what do you think of this film? Please comment down below. Let me know. Stay tuned next time for more reviews. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And until next time, I'm Pajak's Perspective. See ya. Bye for now.